The spare tire on the Ford Ranger has a leak somewhere. In today's hopefully short episode, we're going to look for the leak, hopefully find it, and if we find it, hopefully we can fix it. So let's get out there and see what we have to do. Here's the spare tire for the Ranger. It has a leak somewhere. I don't know if it's valve stem or if it's around the bead on this side or the bead on the back side. So let's see how much air is in it. If we've got enough, maybe we can test it right away. That's got 15, 16 pounds in it still. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some spray wax I have sitting around. You could easily just use soapy water, but you want it to foam up wherever your leak is. So I'm going to spray around the bead. I'm going to spray around the valve stem, and then we're going to look for bubbles. I wasn't using this wax anywhere anyways, and we have an immediate result. There you go. There's one leak. Go around. I have nothing else, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a paint pen and I will mark the area where I've got that leak. Valve stem seems good. Let's flip it over and try the other side. Okay, that should be enough to see any bubbles. All the way around, and I don't see anything. So our only leak appears to be on this front side. Let's see here. Yep, right there. Fizzy. There's our leak. So what we're going to do is hopefully take that manual bead breaker. I'm going to bust it off there. Then we will clean the rim up on the underside and reseat it. And then we'll check for leaks again. Let me get set up and we'll see if we can't break that off there. First thing I'm going to do to make life easy is I'm going to use my pocket screwdriver that has the Schrader valve removal tool, which is really just a slot. And I'm going to take the valve core out of here so I can get all the air out of the tire. There we go. And we'll hang on to this valve stem or valve core and put it in our pocket. There we go. Got that wedged underneath. And once you've got it wedged under there, I'm going to pry back and tap it in farther as you go so it doesn't slip. Now I'll use a second tire tool. And I just want to break it off the bead right at this spot. I don't need to get it anywhere else, but I may have to take it off halfway or more to get this. I guess we're going to find out here in a little bit. And we'll move over. There we go. I'll let you see what we got going on here. So what we've done is separated the tire from this bead, which this bead and tire are full of rust. So we're going to clean all this up, and then we'll put some air pressure in it and reseal it and see what we can get. It should be pretty easy. The only cleaner that I've got hanging out is some glass cleaner, so I'm going to use that first since it gets all foamy. I kind of like it. And we'll wipe this, and then we'll probably hit it with some sandpaper after I get everything off of the actual bead of the tire. that seems pretty good. Yeah, there's definitely a rust lip there, so I'm going to go get the die grinder and we'll zap that real quick. So you can probably hear it, but I just kicked the air compressor on. I'm going to use a 1/4-inch die grinder, and I'm going to hit this rusty edge right here. I'll bring it to you so you can see. We're just going to hit this rusty edge right here with the die grinder. That way we get a better chance of sealing. You don't want to take metal off too much though, so you don't need to go full bore. Okay, that's not quite getting the whole sealing surface, so now I'll just get some sandpaper and we'll take care of the rest of it. Instead of breaking it farther off the rim, I'm just going to take some 60 grit and get the rough stuff off. Right here, there's a decent amount of pitting. That's probably the center of our leak. I don't know if I can do much about that, but I think cleaning all the scale off will probably help. And let's blow all this out. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to use that spray wax or that glass cleaner. I'm just going to wet this bead, and then we'll put air pressure back into it and reseat the bead on it. Now, you just want something a little bit wet that is going to go ahead and add a little bit of lubricity to that, but not too slippery. Rubber tip, I should be able to seal that. We'll see. Don't put your hand anywhere near this bead while you're doing this. And there you go, right back on. Now we'll put our valve core back in. Valve core goes back in. Just twist it till it stops. There's no reason to torque this thing, or there's no crazy spec on it. It's a tiny rubber seal. As soon as it stops, you're good. Now we'll fill this back up and check on the air pressure and check on our leak. That's 25, that's good enough. All right, now we'll soak this down again, right where we know it was leaking, and look for bubbles. Right here to here is where it was leaking. And I don't see any signs of bubbles. So I believe we fixed that. Should be sealed up nice and tight, should hold air. Excellent. That was a quick little fix for today. I'm glad it worked out. If you got big older tires like this, a lot of times tire stores won't touch them if they're past a certain date code. But if you go to Harbor Freight, Tractor Supply, Rural King, places like that, get a couple tire tools and you're willing to give it a shot, it's pretty easy to fix some of your own. You could even break them off the bead and put entirely new tires on by yourself if you really wanted to. But that'll do it for today. One spare tire fixed. See you next time.